Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Scott, our consultant at www.xpr3.com. This was started at 12:23 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on that morning. However, I made a discovery. If you're going to record something, it really helps to turn on the record button. Now that we've gotten over that formality, the other concern is that I hope and pray if there's enough energy left in this device to make this recording. The subject matter for this podcast is Qigong, the energy of Qi. Now, I have been interacting with this since about the mid-90s in terms of having studied under three different practitioners. Dr. Yue Shi, a YC Wen, and the third individual, I refer to him as Sifu Li Tian. I've kind of got this thing about calling anyone master. It's part of my ancestral background. Deal with it. It's who I am. Now, I have been, as of late, viewing a fair number of videos on this. One methodology is called La Qi, which for everything I've seen is about the simplest method you can learn. Another one is called Qi Leo, and that one sticks out because the demonstration that's put up by Dr. Greg Braden shows a group of three practitioners and a patient who is being monitored in real time by a sonogram. And what you get to watch is this individual. It's a woman. She's got what looks like some sort of a tumorous growth adjacent to her bladder. And this thing goes from about the size of my fist to the size of a dime in something to the tune of 3 minutes flat. And it was mind-boggling. Now, the thing is, this was not done with lasers. This was not done with surgery. This was not done with any form of injection or physical intervention. These people use their energy and their intent. Now, I don't know the actual translation verbatim of what they were saying, but what they were chanting was something akin to the tune of, "It is done, it is finished, it is healed," something like that. And you got to watch this happen in real time. It's just like, it blows my mind to watch stuff like that. Now, aside from that, I'm trying to think other methods. I'm just going to suffice to say that there are other methods that I've seen, but I tend to want to look at this in terms of simplicity. I want to look at this in terms of, dare I say, mechanics. And what I've noticed over the years is that there seems to be three components regarding the cultivation of this energy. The first part, probably the most important, is the gathering of the Qi. The second part, I'll refer to it as the manipulation of the Qi. The third part is the utilization of the Qi. You don't just generally gather Qi and not use it for something. Okay, so those are the three things I've noticed. So I'm going to sort of dub a method here. And bear in mind, I do not come from a long lineage of thousands of years of tradition and understanding with regards to this. But I've had a few teachers, and I've had some time to practice. Have I facilitated any miracles or raised the dead or walked on water or changed water into wine? Nope, and nope. Sorry. Give me time. I'm working on it, though. So, all that said, what I'm going to do here, with your permission, is take you on a little journey. But before we start that journey, I need to be very clear. If you're listening to this and you're driving or operating hazardous machinery or doing anything else that requires your undivided attention, stop. Turn it off. Because this little journey that I'm going to take you on could very well be interpreted as a hypnotic trance induction. I'm not interested in causing any sort of vehicular accident or otherwise, okay? So if you're sitting at home and you've got however long this recording takes to listen to it and to perform it, by all means proceed. But again, if you're currently driving, operating hazardous machinery, or doing anything else that requires your undivided attention, stop. Bookmark the page, come back to it, okay? All right, there we are. Now, I'm going to ask you to just sit and do this. This is going to be in your imagination. You can get around to doing this physically at another point, but for the first few go-arounds, let's just have you use your imagination. So I'm going to ask you to sit comfortably, take off your shoes, maybe throw a blanket on if the room gets a little cold or something. Just be comfortable, relax. I don't really recommend you lay down because you'll probably fall asleep. Not that it would be completely pointless, but you need to be a little conscious for this endeavor. All right, so that having been said, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes and take a deep breath. In and out. Again, nice deep breath in, nice deep breath out. One more time, slowly in, out. Now I'm going to ask you to pretend, imagine, go along with the idea that you are a point of light, as tall as however you might be. If you're 5'5", then you're a ball of light that tall. If you're 6'7", then you're a ball of light that tall. Okay. Now, this ball of light that you represent, is sitting in the middle of an expansive circle. That circle is 186,000 miles wide. And yes, there's a reason I'm using that figure. That's within the passage of a second, that's the speed of light. Okay? Now just imagine that this is where you are currently. Now I want you to further imagine that you can see this structure is kind of a donut with a very, very thin center line in the middle. And the energy goes from the bottom of your feet out to the edges, all the way around the top, and down through the top of your head, So out the bottom of your feet, all the way out to the sides, and comes back in the top of your head. So with every inhalation, this energy circles, comes in the top of your head, goes out the bottom of your feet. With every exhalation, this energy circles, goes out the bottom of your feet, comes around to the top of your head. Now, we're going to do something interesting here. We haven't physically moved. We're just doing this in our mind's eye. In your mind, you're standing. You're actually sitting in reality, but in your mind, you're standing. And you're standing such that your feet are a little bit wider than your shoulder, and you're squatted down just a little bit. Maybe 3 to 7 inches, somewhere in there. Just comfortable. You're not trying to get into what's known as a low, deep horse stance. There's no need for that. Just, squat down 3 to 7 inches in your mind's eye. Now, take your hands, put them at your side in your mind's eye. Let your palms face forward. Now, let your hands rise up, flattening as they go. And as they flattening, you are gathering this energy, this chi. And as they come down in front of you, this chi washes through the top of your head, all the way out the bottom of your feet, through your body. And you'll do this again. And we're going to do this another 8 times. Then I'll count it down. So now 8, 7, 6, in, gather, 5, gather, bring it from the bottom to the sides to the top and down through. 4, Hands will come down in front of you and then flail out to your side. 3, in. 2, in, out, and down. 1 more. Let your hands rest at your sides for a moment. Now, in your mind's eye, I want you to pretend, imagine, go along with the idea that you are raising your hands, palms facing each other, about a foot, foot and a half apart. Now, inhale, and as you exhale, let your hands float out a little bit. As you inhale, bring them back together. Exhale, float them out. Inhale, bring them in. And we're going to do this another 8 times. Now, the idea here is that every time you exhale, you're expanding a bit. Every time you inhale, you're contracting a bit. Bring it in. Now, for some people, the reverse might feel better to do, so that's an option. So we're going to do this one way so many times, and the other way so many times. Now, we've already done it about 3 times. So, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Now we're going to flip it. We're going to put our hands about a foot, foot and a half apart, and now we're going to, as we inhale, let the hands float out. As we exhale, let them come together. As we inhale, let the hands float out. As we inhale, bring them together. And another 3 times. 2, 1. Now at this point, each person listening, choose which one of those methods seems to feel better to you. Do you like it better when you exhale and your hands float out, and when you inhale, your hands come in? Or do you like it better when you inhale and your hands float out, and when you exhale, your hands come together? Go ahead and choose that. Now, me personally, I'm going to go with the latter. I'm going to go with the inhale and the expand, and the exhale and the contract. Okay? In your mind's eye, I want you to imagine between your hands this ball of light. It's imaginary. You can even make it colored if you like, but generally, just to start with, let's go with white light. So, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And every time you do this, we're going to do this another 8 times, imagine the intensity of the light in that sphere growing. So 8, inhale, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, in your mind's eye, you've got this sphere of light. It's about a foot, foot and a half, maybe 2 feet in diameter. And I just want you to hold that sphere there. And in that sphere, I want you to mentally place an intention. An intention for good, an intention for healing, an intention to help someone, an intention to, I don't know, get a job or something, whatever. And you've got this sphere of light, and you have this intention. Now, there are many places that you could move this ball of light. If you do this more than once a day, I would personally suggest that you move the first time into your lower dantian, which is the area just in and around the area of your navel, or your heart, which is the middle dantian, or your head, which is the top dantian. These are all energy centers on the body. But for the sake of this exercise, this particular experience, I want you to place that sphere into your heart, the emotional center of your body. Okay? So now you've done the energy work, you've gathered the energy. In a manner of speaking, you've manipulated the energy, and now you're going to utilize that energy. Now take that sphere of light, it's permeable, it will absorb into your body, and place it into your heart. And then just hold your hands over your chest for a little while. Take a few breaths, maybe 3 or 5, nice, deep, slow ones. Let's make it 3. Okay. Now that you're done with this, again, this is all in your mind's eye. Let your hands gently float down to the sides of your body. Allow yourself to feel the energy of that intention. Allow yourself to feel what it is you want to see manifest. This excursion into the realm of our imagination is now complete. Slowly open your eyes. Take a deep breath. Stretch gently. Now bear in mind, you've just gone into and come out of an altered state of consciousness. Give yourself a few minutes. Don't jump up and run a marathon. Okay? Take a few deep breaths, stretch out. Make sure you're all back in your head and conscious and aware of what you're actually doing. Okay? And that's it. Now I'm going to dub this the GMC Qigong method. It's been floating around in my head for a while. It's like, well, maybe it'll do some good. So I'm just going to put that out there. Again, this is Scot, our consultant. This has been a presentation on an idea regarding how to utilize Qi, how to gather it, manipulate it, and utilize it for your own good and for the good of others. I hope you've enjoyed this presentation, and I hope it does a lot of good. I feel there was something that I needed to say, and I feel that there are some ones out there who need to hear what I've said. I wish you all wellness and peace. This is Scot, our consultant, xpr3.com. Thank you for listening. Namaste.